there. Nice of you to join me. Uh, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Lisa Orban. I am a writer. I have one book out right now called It'll Feel Better When It Quits Hurting, and a second book that is supposed to come out in the spring called Wine Comes in Six Packs. I also have a little blog series called The Talking Book, and this is a little different from what I normally do. I Back in November, I believe it was, I was approached by an online magazine called Individual Empowerment, and they asked if I would be willing to share a story with their magazine, and I agreed. And I would like to share it with you. It's a supplemental story to my first book. Well, I hope you enjoy it. When I was 16, I was put into foster care. In less than 2 years, I was placed with 4 different families in 3 different cities, all at the whim of the state and the courts. It was scary and it was confusing, but most of all, it was lonely. Being thrust into different homes of strangers, expected to adapt and fit in without causing any problems, learning new rules, different expectations with each new home, your things stuffed into garbage bags with each new move, and all of it completely outside of your control. I arrived at Eula's house 21 days after entering foster care, following my caseworker up the stairs to enter this newest stranger's home. I didn't know what to expect. My heart was beating in my chest as I waited to meet my newest mother as we stood outside her parlor in the hallway. In the house behind me, I could hear voices and laughter drifting through the air, and in the occasional glimpse of the body that was attached to those voices. Looking around the large house, I thought to myself, maybe I could fit in here. Knocking on the parlor door, my caseworker entered, leaving me to stand alone while I waited for them to call me in. A short time later, I heard my caseworker call out for me to join them. I shyly shuffled in, looking down at my shoes and my hands fidgeting in front of me, when I heard Eula say, "Look up at me, child. Let me see you." Slowly raising my head, I saw Eula for the first time, sitting in her chair, smiling at me. Giving me a nod when our eyes met, she raised her arms and said, "Come here, child. It's going to be okay now." I walked into her hug, tears in my eyes, feeling as if I had come home. Eula loved all of us, all of my foster sisters and I, and we all loved her in return, welcoming us as we arrived on her doorstep like long-lost daughters. On warm evenings, we would gather around outside on the porch and share our stories. She would listen to us talk about school and the boys that we liked, and our lives in general, smiling indulgently at each of us as we talked. She accepted each of us for who we were, giving us her unconditional love, no matter what our situation may have been prior to moving in with her. A clean slate, she declared to each of us coming into her home. What happened in the past was the past. From here on out, we would only be judged by how we acted now, privileges and punishments based solely on our present behavior. I dearly loved her for that. I think everyone in her home did. Sadly, I was only allowed to stay with her for 4 months before being moved again to yet another city with yet another family. None of them were ever as warm or as loving as I had had with Eula. But while I was with her, she taught me to accept people the way they were and to never hold their past against them, to take in those in need and to help and to love them while they were with me. And I have carried those lessons with me ever since. I now own a large home of my own, often filled to capacity and sometimes beyond with people who need a second chance. It started off slowly, more by accident than by design. A young 17-year-old girl whose parents had chosen drugs over her, and then a 17-year-old boy who had been thrown out of a religious sect, left sitting at a gas station, all of his belongings stuffed into a garbage bag. And then 2 young men, one recently released from the army, who had lost their apartment and from there it just snowballed. Each person who left to be replaced by someone else brought to me by someone I had helped before. They come to me broke, desperate, often scared, and with nowhere else to go. They come to me because the system we live in is broken, without adequate safety nets and very little compassion. They come to me because they need a second chance, a hand up when the world has pushed them down. They come to me because they have no place in our society but desperately want to have one. I have, for the past 10 years, taken in hundreds of people. I have taken in pregnant women who, when they could no longer work, lost their homes because there is no paid medical leave or family leave in our country. I have taken in ex vets who, after going to war, find it difficult to readjust to civilian life and find that our country has forgotten their service as soon as they took off their uniforms. I have taken in ex cons who cannot find work or a place to live because they made a mistake more often stemming from poverty and desperation rather than any true malicious intent. I have taken in families when one of the parents have lost their minimum wage job and they can no longer afford to live on their own. I have taken in all of those that society has washed their hands of or simply looked away, saying, "It's not our problem." The ones that fall through the cracks of our fractured society. I often laugh and say that I'm running a flop house, but it's not that well organized. It's not run as a shelter, it is my home, and while they are with me, it is their home too. Each person treated as family, free to come and go as they please, safely secure in the knowledge that there is someone who cares about them as they put their lives back together. There are very few rules in my house. There's really only two: help when you can, and respect the people around you. My house is often filled with laughter and music, chaos, as each person adds to the tapestry of our lives here, making it a vibrant place to live. I have had artists and musicians, fire spinners, poets and painters, and a variety of other characters that have graced my doorstep over the years. They stay with me for a while. There is no time limit. Only when they are ready do they move on, stepping out of my house with confidence that they can make it on their own to scatter across the city or the country, some as far away as Alaska and Hawaii. In all my years of doing this and all the hundreds of people I have helped, only twice have I had a problem with someone who, with regret, I had to remove. The most common problem I have is simply that there is only one bathroom for sometimes up to 12 people. I dream of the day that I will have enough money to put in a second bathroom. But, until then, we cope as best we can as we wait for our turn. We share what we have, helping each other out, supporting each other when things are bad, and celebrate with them when things are good. Each new person learning what it is to belong to a family again, or maybe even for the first time. I give each of them my unconditional love. I accept who they are without reservation, and I give each person a clean slate when they walk through my door. Everyone deserves a second chance to get it right, to learn from their mistakes without paying for them for the rest of their lives, to learn how to stand up proudly and to feel worthy of being treated like a person, someone who matters, and feel this way maybe for the first time in their life. I have made a difference. I cannot change the world by myself, but I can change the world for one person, and for me, right now, that is enough.
Hey guys, this is Bobby here. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to my friend Lisa. She was there for me in my time of need, and I know she was there for a lot of other people. And without her, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'm very happy to have had her in my life. Uh, and as most of you know, she's quite an enjoyable character to be around as well. I love you, Lisa, and I wish you all the best.
Lisa took me in on my senior year of high school, helping me get back on my feet, and now I'm happily living with the woman that I love.
Hello, my name is Jesus. I used to be Jesus Glees back then. Now it's Santalo, back to my birthright name. Um, But yeah, it was a hard time for me, and I got kind of kicked out of this academy I was going to in Iowa. It was Keokuk, Iowa, Midwest Academy, and I got kicked out. You know, when I was 17, left on the gas in the gas station on the street with no money for food or clothes or anything, and Lisa and her family at the time provided me with shelter and food, everything with caring love, and I was just blessed to be there, and it kind of brought me onto this path, and I joined the military and became my own man, and kind of found out who I was, and what I was meant to do. So I'd like to thank her, Lisa, and her family, and hope her good luck on her writing and her books and her paintings and all that stuff. So
I lived with Lisa while I was pregnant with twins for the first time. And the walls were covered in books, and there were... What's wrong? Where is your nose? Right there? Good job. It was a wonderful experience. She's a brilliant mom.
Hello, my name's Justin. I stayed with Lisa for about a year and a half. I'm now financially stable, have a place of my own, and emotionally doing very well. And part of that is due to Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, and love you.
Lisa took me in, no questions asked, when I had no place else to go. It was like coming home to this wonderfully dysfunctional family that I always wanted to be a part of. I'll never forget the laughter there.
Hello, I'm Mark Heimerl, and I lived with Lisa about 3.5 years ago, and I had the time of my life. Very welcoming person Lisa was. It brought me to an atmosphere of meeting a bunch of fantastic people. People that some of them I already knew, some of them I didn't. To grow a bond and relationship with all these folks into that atmosphere, it was such a warming environment. Would I ever do it again in the future? Damn right I would. Once again, it was a fantastic experience getting a chance to stay with Lisa, having my coffee with Lisa, enjoying being around, like I said, all those folks. So, I'm Mark Heimerl, and that's a little bit of my experience of staying with Lisa and being around that environment. It was fantastic. And I recommend it to any lost soul, basically like I was, when she took me in with open arms. Thanks again. Have a good day.
Hi, my name is Foley. I came to live with Lisa about a year ago, and she's been helping me through some tough times in my life. She's an excellent person. The end.
My name's Ray Pence, and I stayed with Lisa about a year or two ago, and I had a breakup with my girlfriend, and then I was staying with one of my friends for about a month, and then he killed himself, and I was really in a bad way, like drinking too much and kind of suicidal sometimes. And I stayed over there because I don't always get along with my mom the best, and she let me stay over there and kind of help curb my drinking and like insanity. And it really helped me out, and now things are better. So I don't know if I'm in the book because I haven't finished it yet, but thought I'd give a story about what was going on at the time. Okay, thanks, bye.
My name is Ashton. I've known Lisa for a long time through her son, Shay. The video is supposed to be 30 seconds, but there's so much to say in 30 seconds. But she's a wonderful person and has been there for me when I had nobody. And I can't begin to explain how awesome she is. She's a great artist, a great person, a very strong woman, and I admire her a lot.
I am not rich. I am not even middle class. I look up to see the poverty line. But that doesn't mean I can't make a difference. Each of us, in our own way, can work towards making the world a better place. I happen to be lucky and own the house I live in, so I can do this for others. It's not always easy, but it is always worth it. I'm making a difference in our world, and so can you. We are the change. We are the person we have been waiting for to do something. Each of us, in our own way, can make a difference. Even if it seems small, it can mean the world to someone else. You may think to yourself, I'm only one person, what can I do? You can change the world, one person, one act of kindness, one good deed at a time. We all have the power to change the world. The question is, will you?
The bell, ding, ding, ding.
We need one of those.
Yeah, we do need a dinner.
Go grab my belt.
Lisa.
What?
Yeah.
All right! Bobby's so smart!
Look at Bobby doing stuff. Look at go Bobby boy.
I do stuff.
Remember?